Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and join me for an early look at a brand new Summer 2025 LEGO Minecraft set. This is the Pillager Outpost and Ravager. For the first time in LEGO form, we are getting a set based off of the Pillager Outposts, structures that you can actually see occurring naturally in different Minecraft worlds. It's been a long time coming. In fact, the last Pillager focus set that we got was all the way back in 2020. So 5 years later, and we're finally getting their home base. Let's take a look and see if it lives up to the expectations and hype of finally getting this structure as a LEGO set right now. Next up is 21278, the Pillager Outpost and Ravager. It retails for $80 or 80 euros and comes with 665 pieces, making it one of the more expensive sets of the wave. The set includes 4 minifigs, a so-called Space Sentinel, the Raid Captain, a Mason Villager, and a Vindicator, with of course the Raid Captain and Vindicator being the 2 pillagers in the set. It also includes a Ravager for the first time in a while. The last time that we got a Ravager was all the way back in 2020 with the Pillager Raid, and so it's really nice to get a brand new version of the Ravager itself. The build for the Ravager is actually slightly different compared to the build there, with the horns being a slightly different color, although the mechanism introduced in that set is pretty much preserved in this build here. It's a very fun mechanism, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Altogether, it's actually really cool to finally get this as a LEGO set. Ever since they introduced the concept of pillagers, they would always appear around structures like this, and I was wondering when LEGO would ever give us a set based off of those structures, and they finally have done that with this. And since it is such a quintessential part of what Minecraft is as a game nowadays, it's really nice to finally get it so many years later. That being said, after having it be said and done, I honestly feel like they could have done it a lot better, especially for an $80 set. This could have been built up to be so much more than what it is right now. Comparing it to the in-game model, which is a lot larger and more impressive as a build with a staircase, a whole interior and everything, this feels to me like a very bare-bones version of what it's supposed to be. All in all, the composition of the set includes a few different components that honestly I feel could have been more focused on the one major building. Of course, you do have the 2 pillagers, a pig with a brand new facial design. They've actually put the black outline around the nose instead of pink, but I definitely feel like that outpost could have been a lot bigger. That being said, every single set featuring pillagers certainly must include a Ravager, and I'm very happy we did get one in this set. The function is really fun. It's actually one of the most fun LEGO Minecraft functions that we've gotten in a long time. Basically, how it works is that you have the mouth open and close as you push the head forwards, almost like it's attacking some enemies. It's a really simple yet clever function where you just push down on this Technic lever here, which allows you to push the head forward, and thanks to gravity, the mouth will always open. It's actually a really clever design because even if you have the model at an angle or you're playing with it, even upside down for the most part, the mouth almost always opens, just thanks to the way it's mounted at the bottom of the creature, and it is just so satisfying to push it back and forth with a rubber band. Seated on top, of course, is a Vindicator with a standard LEGO Villager headpiece, as well as just the regular Vindicator torso print and axe that we have seen before, so there's really no need to take a special look at the minifigure itself. But of course, removing the figure from the Ravager, there is just a standard saddle to place the minifigure on, and it is just a fun model. The only thing that I would think would make it even better is if there was some way to actually have the legs be articulatable, but I understand why they didn't do that, because in order to have the function work well, you have to have it always standing straight on the ground and pushing down on the back of the model, and I figured that if they did include leg articulation, it would be a little bit difficult to have that function work as well as it does. The other build included in the set is this little bit of a villager building here, and this is the one thing that I definitely feel like shouldn't have been included in the set. Of course, it is the house of the villager, and it's nice to have a village to attack, but we did get a pillager raid and a full-on village in their first set they were introduced in, so I feel like if you're going to make a set dedicated to the pillagers, just make it be based off of their base, and I feel like those pieces should have gone into the larger build. It's, I guess, nice to get a little bit of a furnished interior. You've got a bed, a stone cutter, and an opening door, as well as a removable roof, but to me it just feels a little bit unnecessary. It would have been cool to maybe have some places or blocks that could be smashed down, like having the Ravager actually attack the building and have some sort of a destroying feature, but as it is right now, it just feels a little superfluous when the set is focused on the Ravagers themselves. And speaking of the main tower, let's take a look at that right now. You have little remnants of what the model is supposed to look like, and I think it looks the best from the upper section, which just has these Lego Technic components holding up the roof. I think that looks really nice, and of course you do have the printed banners for the pillagers, but there is no real way to actually go up the sculpture. There's not even any sort of semblance of trying to make it so that you can climb from one level to another other than just a ladder on the back, which isn't really how it works in-game, but it is nice to get the ladder pieces, so it is a bit of a trade-off. The interior here, though, is where things are really lacking. Obviously, if you look at the structure in-game, there isn't really that much of an interior, so they chose just not to have anything in there, but I feel like if you're already making a lot of liberties in terms of how you actually want to set up the structure to just make it so that it isn't as substantial as it appears in-game, they could have at least had a little bit of interior, maybe even just some stairs going upwards, but then again, the footprint is way too small to allow that. It's almost like a miniaturized version of what it's supposed to be. It's nice to get those brand new ladder pieces, and of course you can remove the top roof to have access to the chest on the inside with a carrot, as well as some other accessories, but honestly, I just feel like it is just not quite large enough for what it should be. Altogether, value-wise, $80 is a lot to ask for this set, especially because it only contains 665 pieces. It is a decent representation of what it's supposed to be, but personally, I would have preferred to see something a lot more large and substantial for the price you pay. As it stands, the most interesting thing about this build is the inclusion of the new ladder elements they made for Minecraft in this year's summer 2025 sets, and the annoying thing is the pillager with the flag on the top of the head doesn't even fit inside their own outpost, so you have to remove the flag to actually make the minifigure fit inside. But now let's take a quick look at the other minifigures included in the set. I'm going to start off with the Space Sentinel here. It's a really interesting design that honestly I'm not 100% sure reads as a Space Sentinel. I guess the helmet print actually does make it look like it has some sort of a helmet on, but the front torso actually almost looks like knight armor or something like that, so I think it's a cool name for the character, but not necessarily one that translates immediately well. The villager included in the set is the Mason, and it's nice to get the Mason in a brick-built form. I like the printing on the front of the torso, and there is no printing on the back, but that makes sense because it is a standard villager. Aside from the Vindicator, the only other minifigure included in the set is the Raid Captain here. It's actually a really nice upgrade for 2025 in that the way that the banner is mounted is they're utilizing the brand new 1x1 with a clip element, allowing you to attach the banner in a lot simpler manner compared to the previous versions that we got, although other than that, the figure is pretty much unchanged. The only other mob included in the set is a new version of the pig, and yes, they have updated the pig. Previously, the line around the nose was a lighter pink shade, and instead they have made the nose more pronounced by having a black line around the nose. It does make it stand out a little bit compared to the other pigs, and I'm not really sure why they changed it, but I guess they just decided to update the graphic design ever so slightly. Altogether, this is definitely a nice set and a long-awaited set. It's certainly something I have wanted to get from Minecraft for a long time. And it's good to get that dummy on the front too that I didn't mention, but that price of $80 is just a little too steep for me. And with that, we have summed up this early review of a summer 2025 LEGO Minecraft set. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of this set? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Will you be picking it up when it launches on June 1st, 2025? And of course, let me know in the comments what other sets you want to see me do reviews of next. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon, and bye for now.